Hi guys, so in this video I'm showing you my top 5 warm-up moves that I do almost every warm-up. It depends on like if it's like a leg day or upper body day or full body day, but these are just 5 moves that are very like beneficial and that will help you. And I just want to give a tip, like for your warm-ups you should be doing warm-ups that like add value to your like actual moves you're gonna do for your workout. So if it's a back squat day, you want to be doing obviously a lot of leg focused warm-ups, but ones that will aid you with your squats. So like some of these moves that I'm showing in today's video will be for that, but like stretching out your hamstrings, stretching out your ankles, and doing hip mobility is very important. And also warming up with like body weight squats is also very important. And then like if you're doing a bench press day, say you want to warm up with some like push-ups or inchworms, just do movements like that will cater to your actual workout and actually warm up the proper muscles. So you just want to cater your warm-ups to your actual workouts. But with that said, let's get started. So this first move is the combat stretch. So this is focused on your ankle mobility, and it's really beneficial for getting more depth in your squats. And since this is for warm-ups, you kind of just want to hold the move for a few seconds while you're pushing forward and then release and repeat it again. And the reason we want to only hold it for a few seconds and repeat is because warming up dynamically is more beneficial for warm-ups than static stretching, like holding the stretch for a long period of time. So once you do a few times on one side, you'll switch to the other side. And to do this stretch properly, you want to face your hips in the direction of your ankle, because if you're facing your hips forward, it's more of like a hip stretch versus your ankle stretch. And you really just want to lean into that front foot. So the next warm-up move is a YTW. So you essentially lay flat on the ground with your forehead pressed against the ground, and you make a Y, T, and W with your arms. This move is very good for activating your back muscles and stretching them out. So you just retract your back muscles at every point, so at the Y, T, and W. And I make a thumbs up and point my thumbs to the sky for the Y and the T. And so you just go through that motion a few times until you feel like your back is properly warmed up. This next move is the hamstring to deep squat stretch. So this is very good for your hip mobility and hamstring mobility. This would be a great warm-up move to do before you do any type of squatting. So you just go through the motion of stretching out your hamstrings and then going into that deep squat stretch. You can also add weight to the stretch and add in some holds at that deep squat position just to really work on opening up your hips. You just are essentially working on hitting that full range of motion for the squat. The next upper body warm-up move is lying thoracic rotations. So this move is very good for opening up your chest, and I do it every upper body day, especially on days that I am working my chest. And I'll kind of start out with this move before like going into push-ups to continue my warm-up. So you just want to repeat the motion of extending all the way out and then going back in a few times before switching to the other side. And then a variation I like to do is doing a whole circle around. That just really like stretches out my chest and my shoulder, and it just feels really nice. So now we have 90-90s. This is another great hip mobility warm-up to do, and just an overall great stretch to do normally like every day. There's 2 variations for it that I'm going to show you. The first one I'm doing is the easier version. I have very tight hips, so this is what I typically do. I lean back on my hands and just let my knees fall side to side, and you make like a 90-degree angle with both of your legs at the bend of your knee. And then the other way to do it is where you're actually sitting up and rotating with your legs, which is more difficult when you have tighter hips. So if your hips are pretty tight, I would suggest leaning back and then work your way up to actually sitting up and doing it without your hands. So those are all of my 5 warm-up exercises that I like to focus on, and just these are great moves in general to work on. All of these moves will add great value to your workouts and just give you better mobility. So thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.